Hey friends, this is Bobby Shanks, author of the soon-to-be-released book, Undateable. All right, so real quick, share. If you are watching this podcast or listening to it on YouTube or Spotify or one of our other social media platforms, please share it. Our audience is growing. We have lots of cool stuff in our future, and we want to grow audience. Also, you can check us out on many platforms, YouTube, Spotify, right here on this social media platform, including Facebook and Instagram. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce our number one all-time favorite producer, In Brown.
What's up, everyone?
I kind of like to refer to In as our designated driver, as me and my oft co-hosts. So he keeps the car on course.
He keeps sober, and I allow you guys to do and have fun.
Right.
Do your thing and have fun.
Thank you, Ian.
The Puppet Master. All right, so I have a freaking cool guest today, John Horn.
Hello, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
First time. Yeah.
First time listener, first time podcaster, first time everything. So, okay, give us a quick intro on yourself, who you are, what you do, where you come from.
John Horn. I'm 42 years old. I work in medical sales for Philips Healthcare and been a nurse for a long time. I went to nursing school right out of high school. So 20-year-old nurse in the hospital. So for almost 22 years now, yeah, been a nurse.
So, I have a question. Do you ever go to the gym? I'm not really sure. I can't tell for sure.
I try to go as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah. Life gets in the way occasionally. And
3 times a day. I mean, just kind of, taking it easy.
Yeah. It's always easy to make those excuses that you're so busy. And I try to, convince myself to get my ass out the door.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, joking aside, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here is because there is this belief, like, I'm going to call it a consensus, that guys who are good looking, work out, have their shit together. I mean, for the most part, like, who's really got it together? 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, has a job and are healthy, right? Good looking and in shape. Like, they don't exist. We're dinosaurs. We're extinct, or we're unicorns. We're rare. I don't know which. And so I thought it'd be really cool to have you on because you're in such great shape. So high five.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I mean, like, I just need single people.
I don't know that I've ever been referred to as a unicorn, but
yeah. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome for that. Your Facebook friend requests are probably going to triple in the next couple weeks.
I can't wait.
But look, we need other men to see that you can be, pharmaceutical, medical device sales and have a busy life. Oh, might I also add a single dad of how many?
2 kids.
2 kids, and a great dad. Very busy outside of work, and we need men to see that. We need women to see that. Hey, guys like us, like, we don't live in caves. We actually walk on sidewalks, drive cars, and have jobs, and you see us in Walmart shopping for groceries.
So real quick, and I'm sure my daughter won't ever see this. I hope she doesn't. But
Which means she probably will.
Today is her 14th birthday. Love you, Ava.
High five, man.
Yeah. 14,
Nice work.
14-year-old.
That's our first shout out.
Shout out
yes.
to my baby girl.
Nice. Okay.
14. She's going to be a freshman in high school.
Ava.
Yep. It scares me to death.
Okay, we're gonna have to just dispel, like, put a stop in this right now. Are you seeing someone? Are you in a relationship? Because frankly, there's gonna be a few people that want to know.
I am seeing someone. I am in a relationship. Yes.
Good for you. So sorry, ladies, if you're out there.
And thank you for being so quick to respond. Because I have experiences where I'll ask somebody. Oh, in fact, we talked about it last podcast. Mm-hmm. Are you single? Sorta. It's like, well, can I put my application in and wait?
Right.
No.
Yeah. No.
All right, let's do requested or rejected. You got something super hot, super fresh for us this week?
So this one's actually, I didn't tell you about this one just because I wanted to surprise you, because I saw a video this morning, and and it was this girl. So she was saying that her ex-boyfriend. So first of all, her name is Sarah. Okay.
Okay.
Her ex-boyfriend. She found out that her ex-boyfriend is now on his 4th Sarah. He has dated 4 Sarahs in a row.
Oh, that's bad juju.
So here's my question: requested or rejected? Dating someone with the same name as your ex, or perpetually ending up dating the same name over and over, first name or last name? Requested or rejected?
I like it.
It's simple, right?
So that way you never forget. You just get one name and stick with it.
Right. So you don't ever say the wrong name and get yourself in trouble, because that's happened to me in the past.
And when you say the long name, John.
Yeah. You might, just like when you get aggravated with your kids or your dog, you start shouting names and the wrong name comes out, and then you're in the doghouse.
Good save. You're absolutely right.
So if it's the same name over and over and over again, it's hard to screw that up.
So you're requested.
First of all, I think that's a good answer.
It's a great answer.
That's the guy answer.
That is totally a dude answer.
Yeah, that's the guy answer right there.
I got to be honest here. I want, I don't want to have my man card revoked, but I'm a rejected. Now, I think it has to do with timing too. So like I dated this girl when I was super young. She was like my forever love. Her name was Jenny. And I dated someone much later, right? Like decades later, right? A girl named Jenny, and that was cool. But going from Sarah to Sarah to Sarah.
It is a little creepy. Yeah. A little creepy. But
that's a lot of dating app surfing.
In a sense, it does. It could save your ass, though.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's
could in the wrong circumstance.
That point, it's just, I think it's just bad luck at that point. But here, so this is a big difference. That this is the next question that's involved in this. Now, it's the difference between like an ex-wife or an ex-long-term relationship versus an ex. You hung out a few times. Type of thing. So does that change your opinion at all?
Yeah, that's a no-go for me. There's no way I would date somebody that had my ex-wife's name.
No go. Yeah, I agree.
Nope. No. That would mess with my head.
All right, topic number 2. So
rejected.
Moving on.
This one brought to you by a viewer out there. So someone showing up to a date, showing a little skin.
Is this first date?
First date. You've seen a picture of her, but she's not necessarily clothed like you'd like your daughter to be clothed.
Are we going to church, or are we going out on a Saturday night to Helen's?
That, but
yeah, I guess the context is important. If you're
a little bit,
if you're going to a concert or a club, or if you're going to an upscale restaurant, maybe that's not the appropriate attire. I don't know.
So so now I am going to pull my man card. I am not only a requested. And now again, you didn't clarify, like, from head to toe is 100%, right? Naked. So are we talking 20% clothed or 50% clothed?
Let's just say the V is very deep, and or the shorts are very high.
I see.
Or the what would you call the crop is very
the midriff.
The midriff is very noticeable. Because, like, for me, like, in my taste,
I have so many questions.
I
have so many questions.
I will probably just leave that date. For me,
shut your mouth, Ian Brown.
I would just walk out. Like, but that's just like how
What's wrong with you?
Here's the thing: is this someone you're pursuing for a long-term relationship, or is this
first date?
That's all I
First date.
Hit it or quit it kind of thing.
First date.
Yeah.
Hit it and quit it.
So
But-
if it's that kind
Okay.
of situation, then you stick around. 'Cause
See,
it
I
may
only-
get good later.
I only know committed relationships, so that's my answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Well, and to be fair, and I'm almost going to contradict myself here, and I don't care. I only date someone at my age and at this particular season that I find myself in that I potentially see as a long term. If it was a first date, I'm a roll with it. Right? I've been catfished. Right? So the opposite, right? Mm-hmm. The opposite. I roll with it. I'm a gentleman. I'm nice. I roll with it. You can always adjust plans on the fly. Hey, let me tell you something. Here's a good one. I never tell my date what we're doing.
Just if they got the wrong clothes on to go hiking that day, it's their fault.
On a first date. On a first date, just to clarify. Now, I will say, hey, meet me at Billy G's at 7. Okay.
Yeah.
That. But if I have made other plans, I'll never say what those other plans are until I'm with the date, so that I know, am I going to be here?
Sure.
Like you say, hit it or quit it. I'm going to be like, my hit it means we're only going to be here for an hour, and then you got to go home. Mm-hmm. So in that situation, I'm just going to say across the board, I'm always going to be a requested, because I'm a skin person. Now, qualifier, it has to look good
Sure.
on the girl.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. So, and look, I'm not being shallow here. If you're a super curvy girl, then wear something that works for that. If you're a voluptuous girl, wear something that works for that. If you're a little skinny, boxy girl, wear something that works for that. And you can dress sexy in all of those body shapes.
We're not looking for the pictures of people at Walmart.
Yeah.
Right.
the people,
Dude, that's awesome.
The people of Walmart,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. I mean,
If I can Photoshop you inside a Walmart, that's a no. Well, I don't know. Some of them are pretty funny. I would maybe go to Helen's with that girl just for the laugh.
All right, now we have to know your answer.
I'm a requested.
yeah, I think I'm with Bobby. I think at this stage of my life too, it's kind of I'm only going out on dates with people that I'm looking to have an extended relationship with. If it was 20 years ago, and back to my initial comment, like if it's a first date and they show up, it might be fun, but so, I do like skin too. But it has to be, I guess appropriate for the situation.
It has to be tastefully done.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you invited your first date, somewhere that, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a situation. Obviously, you wouldn't take her to your parents' house on the first date, but
All right. I got to blow it up. I can have this talk with you. A woman who dresses like that is not only self-confident enough to dress like that, she's only going to fucking date a guy that has enough self-confidence to be with a girl like that.
sure.
So it's kind of a test. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely capable. Now, if she ends up being really sleazy or trashy or she's just trying to do the hookup thing,
Right.
that's frankly, I would be surprised if I found myself in that position to begin with, leading up to it, because that actually has never happened to me. Now, if it was like a third, fourth, fifth date and I'm like, hey, we're going to go dancing at Helen's, and she shows up looking like that, I would be like, fist bump, fist bump, fist bump.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
just a little more information there.
Fair enough.
I'm with you.
That actually made me break a sweat a little bit.
So this kind of jumps off of something you said earlier. Blind dates and or recommendations, meaning your friend says, hey, I think you'd really like this person. I think you and them would hit it off. You should go ask her out or something like that. Are you requested or rejected on that at this age in your life, this stage of your life, compared to a younger stage where you might be a little bit more spontaneous?
What you got?
I think for me, it's requested, right? Requested,
Yeah.
Requested or rejected?
Yeah, I think that a friend, introducing you to someone, especially at this point in my life, they know you, they know the type of person you're looking for, what you're looking for in a partner, and can introduce you to some, those kind of people where you might not find that in other avenues. So, I mean, today's time, there's not really any blind dates because you can snoop all day long on
so
social media
true.
and find out everything you want about someone, what they look like now as opposed to 10 years ago, and all that stuff. You can snoop and find all that out. So blind dates are almost a thing of the past. But as far as
valid,
as far as a friend introducing you to someone or saying, hey, I think you should ask this person out, I'm all for that. Yeah, I think it's great.
I'm absolutely a requested. Absolutely a requested, hands down. And here's what's crazy. Do you know how many times that's happened to me?
1 or 2?
Once. One time.
And how did that go?
It was great. She and I became good friends.
Interesting. All right. Well,
Yep.
Only
friends.
What'd you just say?
Only friends.
Oh, I thought you said OnlyFans, and I'm like, dude, how many times?
You want to know what's funny? I was actually thinking, I said OnlyFriends, but then I thought,
You have said.
I wonder if that sounded like OnlyFans. Did I say OnlyFans?
Ever since you asked me what it is, like I've heard you say that.
If I did, I
Like-
totally slipped.
like-
I'm sorry. Do you know what OnlyFans is?
No.
Oh no.
I don't want to tell him. It'll ruin him.
Okay, here.
He's such a good guy.
This is coming from the millennial thing, but
Which means we're going to tell you.
Basically, the and it goes for guys and girls, but the internet has now created a website that allows men or women to put promiscuous content on the internet and charge a subscription for it.
I see.
And there's like a paywall, and if you get past this paywall, then I learned this from? I learned this from Gary Vee. He did one of his like overrated, underrated, and it was that, and I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
So I searched it, and I'm like, oh god, I should not be on this site. Anyways, it basically has allowed anyone who wants to take pictures of themselves and has a market for those pictures to become very, very wealthy.
Sweet.
So,
I think I get the gist.
yeah.
Let me cut through the crap. It's Pornhub or YouPorn or it's a porn site. Now, don't get me wrong, right? You could do evangelical work. It's for anybody.
Sure.
But here's the money. It's a porn site for everyday people. So if you're a husband and wife or whatever your fancy is, and as long as you're not distributing content that's illegal in the United States, I assume it's headquartered in the United States. I don't know
anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
You can create a fan base and be paid for it.
Interesting.
It's literally.
I do not have a channel, nor will I.
Yes.
That's
there might be some people requesting that, and you're rejecting.
Yeah. True that, and that is a hard no for me.
But I have to say, you have, ever since you asked me like what it is or whatever, I'm like, I feel like I hear you say it every other day that we're here, and I'm like, you're just like telling everyone.
I have been on that site one time. That's it.
But what I'm saying is that like now everyone you talk to you just it somehow comes up in conversation, and it's like a joke that you use now.
I guess because it's funny, because I'm seeing people make so much fun of it.
Yeah,
memes all over the place, social media,
yeah,
even the media.
But you make jokes, and you're like, this will be on my OnlyFans page later or something like that. You just keep making that joke.
Thinks I'm totally creepy, so let's move on.
But no, it's a funny joke.
It is funny.
I appreciate it.
Here's what's really funny is what percentage of our audience, yes, I'm talking to you and your mom's watching you, and so is Jesus, have one of those subscriptions. I mean, I bet it's 25%.
But honestly,
I bet it's a number.
I think now I don't think that it's a good thing, but the fact is that there's a lot of people out there making a lot of money off of this, and it gets to the point where you're like, what are people doing in their 9-to-5s anymore? You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure with COVID, those kind of pages blew up. People were at home, all voyeuristic, swiping.
Don't get me started.
Let's talk like dating aside. Let's take everything aside. Like just, general internet business, ability to create businesses online and stuff like that. It's like, holy crap, there's so much out there that the fact that this is a thing, it's like you could do anything at this point. Like barriers are just gone.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a barrier anymore. If you need to make money, there's a way out there.
Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. I don't even remember where we are. Are we still requested?
Yeah.
I don't remember what that topic was. Was I a requested or rejected?
We were talking about blind dates.
I'm a total requested.
Yeah.
But
I would love for one of my friends to come to me and say, you don't know this person. Don't look them up on Facebook. Don't have any preconceived notions. And I actually wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to tell you her name. I'm going to set the whole thing up. And this Friday, 7:00, this place, she'll know who you are. She'll come up and say hi, and that's your date. And I'd be like, okay. If it was somebody I trusted.
Yeah. That's what I going back to your friends that know you best.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have your best interests, so they're going to.
What a great story.
They're going to introduce you to someone they think you fit with. So, I mean, as long as you have a trusted friend, like, I don't know. I got some buddies that
I don't know if I trust my friends.
Right.
I was thinking the same thing.
I have some buddies like, no, thank you. But if my buddy's wife or, whatever, okay.
Oh my gosh. One of my buddies, who knows what would show up? Probably.
I know.
I'm not even going to go on
camera.
One of those
pictures from Walmart.
Right. I'm not even going to go on camera as saying what just went through my head, what one of my buddies would set me up with.
So, let's talk about requested or rejected, dating someone from your past. And now, here is the kicker. This is the description of this topic. The fact is that you were a different person than you are now when you first met this person. And now you're a completely different human being. And so are they. Requested or rejected? Can you get that old person out of your mind and start fresh?
Sure. For me, it's requested because the relationship I'm in now is somebody that I dated previously, like 18 years ago, 19 years ago. So
really,
yeah. So and it is true. We're totally different people.
Very interesting.
But it's still the same. The same feelings are still there. So
yeah,
I mean,
so interesting. So I also am a requested. I didn't realize this was going to be a topic.
This is why I write them later on, so you can't.
Right.
So I get the raw reaction.
You're getting it raw here, that's for sure. So I actually had this opportunity recently. And some things changed, some things did not. And what did not change was both good and bad. And it was brief.
So I have to ask
Unfortunately.
What about, like, was it hard or was it weird to not see the old person or the person they were, the person you were at that time?
For my current situation, no, it wasn't. We had a lot of fun and enjoyed each other. It just wasn't the right time in our lives. It just didn't work out for us at that time. And here recently, it's kind of picked up where it kind of left off almost 18 years ago. So it's been good.
I want to poke this.
Yeah, so
I want to poke.
So they rebound and then.
Right. So I call this in my book. I call it a ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The universe.
Yeah.
So 18 years.
Almost.
Did you pick up right where you left off? Did it feel like that?
In a sense, yeah. For me, it did anyway. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, and so to be completely honest, the first go around, we didn't date that long. It was a few months, like maybe 5 or 6 months. It was short. Yeah. But there were circumstances around it that it limited us, and I was young. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
And so but now this time around it's we're both obviously different people, like you mentioned, but it's, I think, for the better. We're more mature, we're further along in our life where we both have a good paying job. We can do things now that we probably wouldn't have been able to do then.
Yeah.
So I'm fully with it.
Yeah, I'm going to request it
as well.
It sounds like your experience is off to a great start, and mine was the opposite.
I've had other, situations where I've dated someone previously and then went back out with them, and it wasn't that it ended poorly. It just, like you said, Bobby, the same kind of things cropped up that came up before, and what I thought may have changed didn't change, so it just didn't work out. And not that it was bad,
yeah,
but it just wasn't right.
Yeah. That's kind of intense, man.
Sorry.
What else you got?
Sorry.
We're getting deep.
No, it's good.
Now
we're getting deep.
It's relevant.
I'm gonna need more bourbon.
Yeah, me too. So let me go a step further, and I'm going to do a shout out. I talked to a therapist, highly educated, single woman. She is from Oklahoma. Very talented, very attractive woman too, I might add. And she and I have had very brief dialogue, purely academic. And I was asking her certain questions about her field of expertise in counseling. Anyways, she does a lot of counseling for single people. She participates in a forum for single people, and her name is and I've actually never talked to her. It's all been through the written communication. So if I pronounce this wrong, I'm sorry. Anna Robb or Anna Rab, I don't know. Look her up. She's awesome. But she said, and I told her I would give her credit. Single people are like drowning victims, right? So and I'm going to go just one step further from the dialogue she and I had. Like if you're in a pond, I grew up in the country. So if you're in a pond and you feel like you're drowning, you learn to float, right? So you save yourself. But you get two people drowning, you pull each other under and you both drown. And her point was, very eloquently, way more eloquent than I'm making today, single people are like that. So we just pull each other under. Right? And a lot of times we, not in your case, but we will return to a previous relationship because it's a creature that we understand. But it's almost like saying, here, I'm going to dive into this pool, I'm going to dive into this pond, knowing it's going to drown me.
It's deep.
Yeah, sorry.
That's real deep.
So I'm a requested, but it's got to be healthy. And if it's not healthy, you got to cut it.
Right.
There's got to be vast improvement.
Yeah, I agree. There's no point in going back with that.
Yeah.
That crazy ex.
You're gonna fucking drown again.
Yeah.
If you drown the first time, it's probably not good the second time. But if it is good, right, especially 18 years later.
No matter how much they say they've changed.
Right.
Yeah, very true.
Actually, that's a great topic.
So this spins off to one of our bigger topics that I want to talk about. We got this is slightly serious, but we got some funny ones coming. So kind of wait it out, and you at the end you'll get the fun stuff. So I read a comment earlier on a video, and there was two people that broke up and then got back together just as friends. They went and hung out and spent some time together. And one of the comments, the quote was, "If people remain friends after a breakup, either they never were in love or they still are."
I don't want to talk about this.
I mean, but like, what's your opinion on that? Do you agree with that? Because part of me is thinking, no, actually, like I don't agree with the comment, but it was to the point where I had to bring it up.
My opinion, and I think it could go either way, but I think as a mature adult, I think that I personally could have that type of friendship relationship with someone that I had a relationship with previously that maybe it didn't work out for whatever reason it might be, that you can remain friends. But I feel like where it gets hairy or where it could be a problem is future relationships that new person in your life may not see that friendship as being, just a friendship.
Oh, he went a step further.
Smart man. Smart man.
Like for me, being in a female dominated profession, right? So
same.
I have a ton of female friends. They're all nurses that I grew up with them because I honestly at 19, 20 years old working in the hospital, these women at the time or whatever were a few years older than me, and I became one of the girls, if you might say. Like I was the boy toy that went to all the birthday parties.
You and I are in the same, different job titles, same culture.
Yeah. So I went along to every birthday party, everything. I went everywhere with these girls, and I learned a lot about how women think and how they, all that stuff. And it I don't know. I can't say that it helped me because I'm 42 years old and never been married, but either way, I don't know.
That's a different topic.
I don't know, but yeah, I think for me personally, I think that I could have that friendship with someone I had a relationship with in the past, and it strictly be a friendship, But again, I think where you kind of run into a snag is that next relationship, it causing some friction for you possibly, and whether that causes you to sever that friendship ties for your new love, or hopefully you find the right person that can accept, that You've got friends that are female and they're just friends, and you can both live with that. I don't know.
So I think you can have a friend of the opposite sex, but they cannot be a best friend, and they cannot first of all, let's take into account gay relationships if that's your thing, whatever. But from the heterosexual perspective, like, you cannot have a friend of the opposite sex that you are dating. Of the same sex that you are dating, and they be a best friend, or they be any more a part of your life, or fill a role that a spouse or significant other or girlfriend or relationship would. Like, they can't fill any of the emotional roles. They are literally just someone you say hi to at work and you laugh at about some sort of thing, or that but they cannot fill roles that a relationship is supposed to fill for you.
Okay.
Deep thoughts.
Now you have to answer. You're the last. You're the last one.
Deep thoughts. With
Okay,
Bobby
so
Shanks.
look, this is like, I didn't know this. We were going to talk about this. I'm going to be a little bullish here in a comment. My first book is not even out yet, and let me assure you, my second book is going to be so much better than my first book. You wouldn't even wipe your ass with my first book. And this is a major topic. It's huge. So I'm going to answer the question, and then I'm going to go a step further. My answer is, if you are dating someone and that dating relationship, whether it was casual or long-term, if it involves any sort of intimacy, emotional or physical, and it's severed, and then you become friends, you're lying to yourself if you believe that you're going to be able to continue with that person on some sort of, like, where there's a regular contact friend level, right? Where it's once a week or something. And if you believe that you're going to carry on your life and just be friends with that person, like, you're going to have to draw a line. And maybe one of you stronger than the other. And if so, great. But it's just not likely. Step 2. So I'm gonna turn your question into another question, if I can have permission to do that.
Sure. I mean, it's technically the Undateable podcast with Bobby Shanks.
Yeah.
So
okay,
you're allowed to do
all
that.
All right, I'm gonna do it then. Damn it. And this is, and I'm so glad that you're sitting here as a man, because this is a man topic. I think more so than a woman topic. So in my first book, I talk about, right, 3 items, right? Your 3 big items. These are 3 things that you're looking for. These are non-negotiable, no matter what. And we're not going to get into the specifics of what they are and the exercises in the book and all that crap. But these are 3 items that if your potential mate, long-term relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, marriage, whatever, if they don't have these 3 things, just cut it off, right? Because you're wasting your time. So assuming that you have, now here it is. Let's say that you have 3 people in your life, because this is a man thing, that meets those 3 needs, but it's not one person. It's 3 individuals. So look, I'm just going to be honest. Let's say you've got one person in your life that you hook up with. And I'm making this a man topic, but it's women too. And then you have someone else in your life, right? Person number 2, who totally fulfills that emotional need, right? That's the friend. And then, whatever your third item is. Can that work? Did I make it too deep?
No, but so I want to say something before you answer that. Because coming from someone who's never actually like had technically an ex, really, like I completely understand how I could still be friends with someone after, but I don't see how they can be allowed to continue. You can be allowed to continue that relation. You can be allowed to continue that friendship if a new relationship starts. And so, to answer your question, that can work. Your situation can work. But the second a relationship starts, all three of those other people need to go away or else this relationship will never work.
You're exactly right. And how do you eliminate the three most important people in your life?
Yeah.
How do you go to look? I'm going to speak as a dude. So let's say that I enter into a relationship that, like this is like I'm going to commit to this relationship. It's going to be long term. It's going to be committed. It's going to be monogamous. I love this girl, or I want to allow myself to become in love with this girl, and see what happens. You're going to go to your lover and say no more. You're going to go to your best friend and you're going to say no more. And then, pick your third topic or whatever.
I think that falls in line with what I was saying. Like me personally, I think I can have those relationships, but when you get into that committed relationship that you're wanting to build a life with, it could be a problem. So you're going to have to make some choices where you do cut out those people that you're with, like you were saying, your friend or your lover or whatever. You cut them out, and you tell them, listen, I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm going to have to put an end to this. Otherwise, I'm not going to have this other person.
And then you deal with the fallout that follows.
Right.
Especially if your friendships and other things that you've had with these 1, 2, 3, 4 other people has been all over social media. It's going to hurt. It's going to sting.
So I can't.
You won't find many pictures of me on social media.
You won't find pictures of me with women on social media.
No, I'd stay away.
I don't do it.
I don't post things on.
It's no bueno.
I have a Facebook page. I don't post a lot of stuff. I mean.
And most men are like that.
Yeah.
And this is just one of the fears.
Then keep going on that. Just like why don't men post? Well, first of all, I think some guy who's in a committed long-term relationship probably has some pictures of him and his girlfriend or whatever. But for the most part, we are not advertisers when it comes to that. Like, there's no way. I don't even think
Correct.
to post. Like, there's nothing that crosses my mind where I'm like, oh yeah, I should upload a photo today.
Right.
Like, I don't care. Now, why? Like,
for me personally, I don't think about it. It's after the moment, and I'm like, oh, I should have probably taken a picture of that and saved it or whatever. Yeah. But the other part of me is professionally, for my job and my kids and everything else, I don't want it out there.
Yeah.
I don't want them to see a picture of me at a bar with a bunch of people, taking pictures, doing the duck face or whatever the hell they do. I don't want to do that. That's not who I am.
I won't ask you to do a duck face, but I'm not going to lie. It went through my head just to be funny.
But I mean, that's just not who I am. Now, women are totally different. They're fine.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but most of them are fine with, they got the group of girlfriends, they're all together, they're posing, they got the one leg kicked out and they're doing the face and they're taking pictures and they're looking great. And that's amazing. And as I do have a Facebook page and I scroll through all those pages and I see my friends posting their pictures and it's great.
Yeah.
And it makes a memory that they can go back and look at later. Mm-hmm. And part of me is jealous for that, but then the other part of me is like, I don't want anybody to see me doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Like Me personally, my private life, I don't care that my work contacts and everybody else that I have in my social media profile see that side of me.
Let me go out on a limb here.
You go. But so I just want to cap off that. What I tell people is I say, I have the world's best video camera and the world's best file storage system already built into me. I'm
True
good
that.
with the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't need a phone picture to remind me of a memory that I wanted to remember.
Yeah.
And like, just imagine like you go to a concert and everyone's recording the concert. They weren't even there.
Yeah.
They didn't take in that concert.
Right.
Right.
All they did was record. They showed up and they did what someone else is being paid to do and record it. That's sitting like underneath the thing. They're recording the whole thing. You can go watch it later if you really wanted it. You really want to. Just take it in with your own eyes and stuff like that. So
Sure.
that's just sorry, I had to throw that in there.
No, you're absolutely right. And I'll go a step further. There are people who have tattoos. Beautiful. I love tattoos a lot. And they come all the way down their arms, their neck, their legs, their back, because they're just more open. They're unashamed. Less need for whatever reason in their life to be conservative. But there are people like from here up, right? They're covered. Oh, and by the way, they're senators. They're CEOs. They're third grade teachers.
Right.
Yeah, women too. And they're covered, but only to here. Everything else is vanilla.
Right.
And that actually is a very common social media approach for men.
So
I hope girls are listening to this.
Right.
So I had a thought, and maybe women post and do so much on social media to make up for the fact that men don't.
No, I think that and I'm sure you've probably heard this before. When you're dating a girl and they spend 2 hours getting ready to go out, they're not getting ready for you. They're getting ready for all the other women that they run into.
So true.
So they're taking pictures of themselves, for one, to memorize, or not memorize, but to
memorialize the occasion.
To have a memory of that occasion, yes. But also to post a picture on Facebook. Look how hot me and my friends look, all you bitches out there. It's like, look at us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've heard this more than once. But we're not getting dressed up, and we're not putting makeup on for 2 hours for you. This is for all the other girls we're gonna see.
Yep.
That are gonna be out. So,
Truth. Total truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm sure there's tons of things that women do, like in excess, because the men in their life aren't fulfilling that. I don't have an example, but that's what I was thinking. Is like they're getting so little of that sort of acknowledgement from men that they have to do it in order to get that acknowledgement. So like, because men don't do that for them, they do it in excess, or what a guy would like. I would perceive it to be too much. Now, do you, as guys, do you think the amount?
I have a lot to say on this topic.
But do you think the social media, do you think it's like too much or the right amount that you see out there?
For me, social media is ridiculous. Like, I could do away with it today and not have a second thought about it. Like, now there's a lot of people out there that they've built a business and they make money and they do all those things, advertising with social media. So it's never going to go away. But to your point, and and I still circle back around to the girl piece. Yes, girls are doing it for attention from other men. I think if you're not giving your woman the attention that she's seeking, she's going to find it elsewhere. But I think the majority of women are going to look for
keyed in on that.
Yeah, I think
I know that face on Ian.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the women are looking to outdo the other women that are going to be at wherever they're going. You know, women are so competitive. Yes, they're very competitive. Like, I don't get ready to go out. Like, 15 minutes, I'm ready to go out the door. Right? I'm ready to go out the door. I'm dressed.
15 minutes if you're taking your time.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the girl, and she's finally ready, and we're ready to go. But the entire time I'm getting ready, the last thing I'm thinking about is, like, who am I going to see there? Are they going to like what I'm wearing? You know, or
is Bob going to be wearing the same color heels as me? That
right?
bitch.
Do these shoes look right with these pants? Like, I'm
going to jack him in the face.
Stuff. I'm just thinking about, hey, we're going to go have a good meal. We're going to have some good drinks. We're going to have a good time. We're going to see some people I haven't seen in a long time. Those are the things that I'm thinking about. But the women are thinking about exactly what you said.
Yeah.
What if she's wearing the same shirt? Or, you know, just like the girl I'm dating now, it's like I told her we're going to dinner on Friday with my brother and sister-in-law, and she's already thinking about what she's going to wear on Friday night. It's like, It's Monday. What's the problem?
You know.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Real quick question.
There's so many branches on this tree.
Hold on, real quick. Have you ever seen another guy wear something and actually been jealous of what they were wearing? Have you ever? It's just a short question.
I've been jealous?
Yeah.
No. Fuck no.
I've seen some guys in some really nice tailored suits, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I should spend a little bit of money on a tailored suit because that looks really good.
Yeah.
But jealousy, no. Like, yeah, I like that. I want to go get that. But
yeah, same.
But to be jealous and be like, oh, I'm going to try to outdo this guy, no.
Yeah, see, I've had that same reaction. So
okay.
I wanted that. That's a really interesting question, so I wanted to throw that in there.
The other side of that coin is, for me, and this is something that I learned many, many years ago in my career, and it's so applicable. Now, notice, okay, this is a man thing. Notice I just said, in my career. I did not say in my dating.
Right.
Right? But it applies in my dating, but the notion originates from my career. Never, ever be the least dressed man in the room.
Dress for success, yeah.
Right. You don't have to be the top. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to be at the top. I'd be lying.
Right. You dress for the role you want, right?
Well said.
If you're going for an interview, you know, obviously if you're going for an interview at Walmart greeter, then you don't really. But if you're going for any top position, you want to dress for the role. So you put your suit on, you put your tie on.
Yeah. And you're 42 and I'm 45.
You shave your face. Yeah.
And we're in great shape.
Right.
Because we know we're interviewing every day.
Right.
Every day. Everything we do is an interview.
Right.
Everything. So we want to be in the best possible condition, best performance. You know, not just clothes, but because clothes can mask, you know, the true identity of a man. But when you're in good physical condition, you know, it says something about that person's discipline.
Right.
Okay. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna go around the room.
So many branches.
Give me one, and only one, social media pet peeve that you have. Just something in general.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm sorry. I just for the sake of time, we need to narrow it down to one.
Yeah, but just one. Only one. Okay. Oh my gosh. We might need to pause the cameras so I can process. I'm going to need a funnel here just to narrow it down to one.
What's the first one that comes to your mind? It doesn't
I
matter.
can't say it.
Okay,
I
what's the
can't
second
say
one
I
that
can't
comes
say what
after
it
that
is
one?
because
For me, and I saw this quote, and I can't attribute it to Mike Tyson because I don't know that he really said it, but it was a meme with his face, and he said social media has given people the courage to say whatever they want without getting punched in the fucking face for it.
yes.
And that's my pet peeve. Like, if you can go on social media and bully people or say anything you want to them and not have fear of retribution, then that's a problem. But if you can't say it to somebody's face, but you can post it on social media, don't do it. Right?
Yeah.
But if you can say it to my face and I can listen and be like, okay, we can have a conversation about this. But if you're going to attack me personally or whatever on social media and then not have any fear of retribution of actually getting assaulted or sued or whatever, then that's my pet.
Dude, I totally agree. If you are very true to your conviction to the point to where you would stand there, right, like Fight Club, and you would let somebody punch you right in the face, say it.
Right.
Otherwise, don't say it.
I think that's the best answer. I don't even know if we should.
I can't trump. Well, I could add to that, but it's not better. That is the answer.
I mean, it's okay for people to have conflicting opinions. Like, I love for people to talk to me about their thoughts and how they feel about things and be able to have a back and forth conversation that this is how I feel, and this is why I feel it, and I can tell them this is how I feel, this is why I feel it. But when you come out and attack somebody and their character and have no fear in how you do it over social media, that's just cowardice. It's ridiculous. There's no fear of getting jacked up.
Yeah,
I have nothing to add or better.
I was gonna say something, but I'm just never gonna say it. And
I mean,
mic drop.
That shit is good enough. Let's just
that was
go
a
to the
mic
next
drop.
one. High five.
So just go right into dating apps. We're on the
okay. Let's talk dating apps.
We're on the internet topic, so just continue.
I have a funny story to tell about dating apps,
please,
if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
So,
kick the door in and do it.
My kids' mom and I separated. We were never married. We separated, and this was years ago. And I really wasn't sure how to get back into the dating game after not being single for a while. And so, a friend of mine actually told me, pay for a dating app. Don't get the free dating app. Pay for a dating app because those are the people that are serious about wanting to be in a relationship. And I'm like, okay, great. So I signed up, paid for a dating app, saw this very attractive woman, and she liked me. I liked her. We started conversing back and forth via text, and then we made some phone calls and set up a date. And then about 2 days before we were supposed to go out, I got a cryptic text from her saying, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And I was very confused. I said, what happened? What changed? What's the problem? She texted me back and said, there's too many weird things going on. And I'm like, explain, please. Explain what's going on.
Yeah, legitimate question.
Right.
Yeah.
Explain what's going on. So come to find out, my ex, my kid's mom, was in a relationship with a guy whom was in a relationship previously to this woman that I met on the dating app. So she did her social media snooping and found out that my ex was dating her ex, and she thought that the circumstances were strange. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this woman is gorgeous. She checked all the boxes, and I was looking forward to going out with her. And she was like, this is just too weird. And I agreed. I'm like, this is very strange. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what to say. Like, this world is too small. I don't know how this happens.
You know why they call it the X?
Why?
Because it stands for abort mission. Abort mission. Abort.
So after that, did you cancel all your subscriptions to paid?
Yeah, so I did actually go on a date with her. I convinced her to go out with me.
Okay.
We went on a date. We had fun. We saw each other for a couple of months, and then realized that our end point in life didn't come out. She wanted more children. I didn't want more kids. So it was kind of an impasse for both of us. Like I said, she was great. She was beautiful, successful. Just we weren't in the same point in our life, and I unfortunately didn't want to or could conceive more children.
Yeah.
If you get my drift.
No, totally.
And so it was like, I can't help you with that portion. And so it was an impasse. So we had to break it off. Yeah, it was very interesting. Like I said, and sorry, there's too much weird stuff going on. And I was like, excuse me? What's weird? We're going on a date. We're just going to get a drink. What's the problem?
Yeah. So, after a lengthy stint, January, 3 months ish of not being on dating app, plural apps. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. It's Saturday night. I'm sitting at home alone. Totally cool, right? I'm good with being alone. Doing the Netflix thing all by myself. I remembered that I had a subscription that I paid like 6 months for or something like that. And, or whatever it was. I think it was Match, actually. And I went on and moved my profile from invisible to back to visible. And it's been a topic here before. So really quick, women who have cats in their dating profile.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you. I was kind of beginning, here's the thing. Men don't speak up. Men will not say, women will say, oh, from the mountaintops, no way, blah, blah, blah. Men will just be like, quietly move to the side, right? They'll never say anything, right? Because it's too easy just to swipe left.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of that. Cute cats. There was one girl, if she brought her cat on the date, I probably would have been okay with it. But if you're going to have cats on your dating profile, then as far as I'm concerned, your cat should come on the date, because I just assume that that's a vital part of your dating relationship.
What about women that post pictures? Let's say they're avid hunters, and they post pictures of their kills in their profile pictures.
Thank you, Jesus.
Is that okay?
That's okay with me.
So this
and
girl
if they
that
have
I was
camo
mentioning,
on their face,
yeah, the girl that I was mentioning before had pictures. She actually would film hunts. She was did the whole videographer thing and would film the hunts, and I was like, wow, okay.
So look, men need to do a better job. Okay, I've said this before. Dating apps, it's advertising. It's a resume. Do you want to get hired or not?
Right.
So if a guy posts a picture of himself, and look, I'm not a fan of posting pictures with your children. One photo, right? If you have, so
sure.
There's five standard photos on every dating app. I'm not going to get into that now. We've already done that. Your last photo may be a picture with you and your kids. As a dude, if I post a picture on my dating profile with me and my daughter, and I have makeup and I'm playing makeover with my daughter, that's speaking a woman's language.
Sure.
That's the equivalent, right? These are averages, right? No absolutes, all averages. That's the equivalent of a woman. It's funny. I'm actually thinking of one gal in particular. If a woman posts a picture of herself in a tree stand with her bow with bright red lipstick on and camo on her face, like, I'm rendered speechless.
Yeah.
Absolutely speechless. Like, that could be her only picture.
What do you
And I'm
think?
like, swipe right. Can I swipe right more than once? How do I send this girl a message?
What do you think, Ian?
Personally, have never been on a dating app.
But what would you think if you saw?
You're lucky.
What if you saw a picture of a girl with cats? Would you be like,
Speaking as a guy who
"Can I get your number?"
has a cat, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But if it's like the main picture, then you're kind of weird.
No, I'm talking main picture and
Yeah,
more
see
than one.
that's a no-go. But like if there's one later on and like you're just like sitting on the couch and it's funny and your cat's sitting by you, I don't care. But
Yeah.
the first one, like, and you're not in it, like the first, like, yeah, exactly.
If you're not in it, that's a problem.
That I would not. So here's
Yeah, if it's Mr. Whiskers
Yeah.
and he's got a Snapchat filter with more whiskers, no.
so
That's a no.
So talk about this. As someone who's never been on a dating app, when do you two feel it's right to take the conversation away from the dating app to other forms of communication, Snapchat?
That is a good question.
Facebook, text, call, FaceTime, whatever.
Yeah.
So for me first, and this is kind of backtracking a little bit too. If every picture that they have has a filter, when you said filter, if every picture you have has a filter, then I'm not even going to entertain.
That's an immediate swipe left.
We were having this conversation earlier.
Immediate
so
swipe left.
first of all, I obviously do videos and photos for a living, and I was showing you earlier this new program that you can replace skies, and it uses artificial intelligence to edit photos for you to make a crappy photo look like it was shot at like the perfect lighting, the perfect everything.
Right.
It's crazy.
Whatever.
Right.
Nothing on the internet is real anymore.
No, it's not.
If you see a cool photo, chances are it did not happen. They were not there. It did not exist. And the sky, the coloring of the ocean, the skin, the how like orange and tan her skin is, it didn't happen.
Sure.
And Snapchat is now Snapchat lets you do it in real time. Instagram lets you do it in real time.
Right.
And if you're following people who are photography based or videography based, it is so edited that if you were to see the real thing, you would probably not be as attracted to it or want to be around it as much.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Totally true. Totally true.
If every photo has a filter and everything's taken from an angle where it's above and
Look what he's doing.
to the side.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to see you as a person, how everybody else sees you, not how
Yeah.
Snapchat filter everything else sees you. And then once you make that connection, typically, and you have a couple of texts back and forth, and you can pretty much judge if the person's going to be, if you can have a conversation with that person that's fun and lighthearted and can move forward. And it usually, for me, like it starts out with a couple of texts, and then a couple of days goes by, you text a little bit more, and if you feel comfortable with that person, then maybe you ask them to meet you for a drink or for lunch or for coffee or whatever it might be. But again, you have to get past that first swipe. And if it's cats in your picture, if every filter is on every single picture, you're not making it past the swipe test.
Okay. This is a question that women want the answer to. Do you read the bios?
Yes. So the first thing that draws you in, obviously, is the
You're
picture.
answering
Is
exactly
picture.
the way I would answer.
Yeah. The first thing that's going to draw you in is the picture, right?
Right.
Then you're going to read the bio.
Yeah.
And you're looking for me anyway, I'm looking for someone that has some semblance of successfulness, that they have a job, that they support themselves, all of that stuff. And not that it's a necessity, but it's always like icing on the cake kind of thing that, I'm a business owner or, whatever their job may be.
Yeah.
On
Stability.
Stability, yes,
Yeah.
on top of that. And then that's, like I said, that's just icing on top of the cake. But you gotta, for me, and I hate to sound superficial, you gotta pass the eye test first. And for me, that's not having
Thank you.
That's not having filters.
That is not superficial at all.
That is not superficial.
Right.
I love that. You have to pass the eye test.
Right.
That's the first time I've ever heard that term.
But you can't have an eye test if it's not a real test, right? Like you can't have faked pictures.
I hope. Look, I love you. I love you girls, all of you. I don't care what you look like, but you do.
Right.
You have to, for that individual man, right? So what captures his gauge, what awakens his senses, you have to pass the eye test. It's the eye exam.
So, to piggyback off this a little
I'm
bit.
going to use that.
I think guys are just kind of at a point where we just want to live in reality. I tell Courtney all the time, I'm like, I like the no makeup, sweatpants, tennis shoe, slippers, whatever the heck you want to wear, messy bun, just as much, if not more, than the dress to go out, looking very nice because I know that's the real you. You know what I mean? And I think you're just coming at it from a different perspective. I just want to know who you are, and I want this to be real and reality, and I'm tired of this fake crap because I think we're having social media fatigue. I'm tired.
Ooh,
Totally agree.
social media fatigue.
I think most men probably are.
I need to start writing some of this shit down. It's so
Your
good.
next book.
It's so good.
But there's so much social media fatigue in guys that
True.
we're starting to
So true.
rebel against the filter, the
Right.
spray tan, the
Yep.
plastic surgery.
How many memes have you seen pictures of a different person, and it says, "I'm going to tell my kids this is somebody else." Do you have you seen those memes before? Mm-hmm. Like they'll have a picture of Justin Timberlake back when he was with whatever boy band and he had the curly hair, and they say, "I'm going to tell my kids this is Ruth from Ozark." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
I remember Ruth.
Right.
It's kind of scary, actually.
It's you're right. It's so social media has ruined us all. But I mean, those memes are just a great example. Like you can take anybody that slightly resembles someone else, and you can tell your kids or whoever that don't know that person, this is the president or whatever, and they don't know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote all that down. It's in my second book.
Nice.
Thanks.
Boom. Eye test.
The eye test. It's an eye exam. Men are optometrists.
And I think his point is the most important thing that we've said all night is you can't take the eye test if you're not looking at something real.
Yeah.
You can't
yeah.
take
And men know.
You can't take an eye test with glasses to figure out what glasses you need.
Think about the movie My Cousin Vinny. Remember the lady that had thick glasses, and he takes the tape measure and stretches it all the way out.
Oh,
and
yeah. I love that movie.
That is one of my
hold up now?
favorite movies of all
And
time.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and then he goes up closer, and she's like, "I think I need a new prescription." That's how us men feel. Like when we see pictures of these filters on Facebook, and then you meet him in real life, and you're like, "You're the same person."
Okay.
No.
Tangent. Don't hate me. That movie was what's his name from all the mob movies?
Pesci?
Pesci.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he's with that girl. She's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And people would look at them and say, like, they're mismatched. Which works in the movie. Mm-hmm. But it works in real life too. And my point is, right, as far as the eye exam goes, right, men are all about the eye exam, the eye test. Mm-hmm. Women, not as much. It's bonus for women, but not as much. But because he made up for it, because he's an attorney, he's got a lot of attitude, a lot of personality, right? Right. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right, confidence. He got her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that what you got from that movie? None of the.
No, I got all of the other stuff.
I'm kidding, but it would be funny if like you watch that whole movie and that's your takeaway. Is like,
I got all of the other stuff, and she was super sassy in that movie too.
Oh yeah,
and they even had this little role playing part, which was kind of fun too. Mm-hmm. But it's true in real life. The point is, men do the eye test. So clearly, that girl passed all the eye tests, and she even had short hair. But for her, she didn't have an eye test. What she saw was a man with potential, a man who, he didn't even have a real law degree, did he?
No, he didn't.
he
was faking it until he made it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
But he had the charisma and
Right.
the confidence to make it happen. So,
yeah.
Jerry Gallo.
Jerry Gallo. But back to the dating app.
Oh, yeah.
Women try to fake it till they make it using filters.
Yeah.
That's a swipe left on me. Like if a girl has a filter with like the little butterflies or the bunny ears, or like where I know it's a filter, totally fine. But like if she's X age and the filter makes her look 20 years younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not stupid.
The bunny ears is one thing, but you mentioned 5 photos. If all 5 photos are the same filter, or they are all filtered, then it's just I'm not even.
Or they're all filtered.
I'm not even going to give it a chance. I need to see the real you.
Yeah.
To make an honest opinion, an honest assessment, and be able to make a swipe left.
You know what
right.
I want to see dating apps do? I want to see them move to video.
Do your 5-minute elevator pitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm John. I love cats.
You know what? I'm not. Anybody who knows me knows what I'm thinking right now, and I'm not going to go there because I would have way too. Yeah, the more cats, the better. I would have way too much fun with that.
I love waking up in the morning and not being able to breathe.
Right, furball. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable, but that's funny.
It's just.
And by the way, that's coming. And what you're gonna see happen. Like whoever's on that dating app is like only the most self-confident people. Because they've
got dating apps for just professionals. Like you can, you can get on strictly professional dating apps. I mean, you got the sleazy where you're just looking for a hookup, or you can
POF.
You can go all the way up to like I'm looking for a wealthy, rich individual.
Yeah,
or successful professional, and you can get all the way do the whole thing.
Yeah, even all the way up to matchmakers.
Yeah.
Paid matchmakers.
Right.
So listen to this. Do you know how much a headhunter? So if you're a headhunter and you are being paid to place a $200,000 to $400,000 CEO. Do you know how much you make?
No idea.
$200,000 to $400,000 CEO. You make $15,000. Do you know how much a matchmaker makes to place a reasonably successful person, right? Man and a woman. Do you know how much they make? $5,000. That's the entry level.
Wow.
Entry level. So if you scale that up,
Yeah.
a matchmaker. Yeah, check this out. So I know these numbers. If you don't have boundaries, right? So if you're a successful person or you have enough money, whatever, and your boundaries are well outside of your area and you're willing to look at somebody that's 500 miles or coast to coast or whatever, do you know how much you could spend? Take a guess.
Enlighten us.
Take a guess.
I'm guessing at least 100,000 or better.
Oh, sure. You could, like, if you were willing to go international.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But here in the States, if you're just like a normal, everyday, successful person, let's say between $100,000 $200,000, right? Gross revenue, gross income, or whatever, you could spend $20,000 to $25,000.
Wow.
I was thinking to be matched.
They've got that damn
matched
reality show, The $1 Million Matchmaker or whatever.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. So I'm sure that they spend those professional matchmakers for those millionaires. They probably are the $100,000 range.
Yeah, that's to be matched.
Oh my gosh.
Like no guarantees.
I wonder if that shows a lot like HGTV, where the couple shows up and he's a janitor at the local Walmart and she's the middle school third grade teacher, and their budget's $2 million.
Oh yeah.
And then, but they're all in budgets 5. They want to stay around too, right?
Right.
Crazy.
Those janitors make a lot of money in California.
Apparently. I'm living in the wrong state. All right. You got another topic? Where are we at?
Well, so let's just leave it with, and we could talk a long time on this one, but let's just kind of lay a foundation, and then we'll this one might have to be continued because we're probably going to need a female opinion on this.
Okay.
Because you and I were talking about this earlier, and we talked about in breakups, the wishbone never breaks evenly. There's unfortunately always someone who takes it harder. They get more financial from the divorce. They have better visitation rights, whatever. I mean, I have no experience in this, so I'm trying to name things that are mainstream. But do you agree with that statement, or do you think there's a possibility that there can be a 50-50 breakup?
I'm going to go a step further.
Coming from some people that, I'm not throwing you under the bus here, but you guys have broken up with some people a few times in your life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go a step further. The wishbone, right, never breaks equally, right? In other words, somebody always gets the short end of the stick. I'm going to go a step further, right? Because I want to keep it positive. Keep it positive. Keep it positive. Same is true with the makeup. The makeup.
Of the person.
Yeah, if you make up, right? So forget about true with the breakup, but let's say you just have a little squabble, right? Just a normal relationship squabble, but you're still in a fragile state, right? Maybe you've been dating a couple months or 3 months, or I don't know, time doesn't matter. You're just fragile. And you make up. So why did you make up? Did the wishbone break evenly?
Usually not.
Usually not. Somebody.
I can tell you from my perspective, it's usually I got the short piece, and I sacrifice to bring it back together to be whole, and it just snips away a little bit more of my peace.
So do men typically?
Yes. The answer is yes.
I'm
in your head. I already know the question. The answer is yes.
I will always apologize, even if I know that I'm right. I will still apologize just to end the fight and be done with it and move on, because I don't want to continue with it.
You know, everybody always says that. Well, I shouldn't say always. It is implied that women are the peacemakers. They want to keep the harmony. And, again, this could be really deep. The bottom line is men feel, on the average, that we deal with so much conflict and abrasion in our daily life as it is. When we come home, or we're at our place of intimacy with our person, we're at a place of our peace. We don't want that. So the least path of resistance. You know what? Okay, I'm going to be cheesy here. Women fake orgasms. Men fake apologies.
True.
Okay, well, here's the question. Have you ever been on the winning side as a man of your breakups?
Okay, Ian. The answer is yes, many times, and that's part of what makes me undateable.
I will say, I don't know, winner or loser. When it depends on what type of relationship. If you're in a casual dating relationship, if you are not sharing a home together, not in a workplace together, not a business together, splitting up, I mean, it's just, okay, it's done. It's severed. It is what it is. Other than back in the day where I need to get my CDs back. You know what I mean?
All the mixtapes that I burned for you.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're in a relationship, you know, like I was previously with my kid's mom, where custody becomes involved, then there is a breaking of the wishbone that's not ever going to be equal.
Never.
And it doesn't matter. You know, there's a reason that there's groups out there that exist that fathers have rights kind of thing. And I love my kids. My kid's mom, she's a great mom. She takes wonderful care of my kids, and I'll never complain about that. But it's come a long way where fathers have 50-50 equal rights in Missouri.
It has gotten better.
But it's still not.
But it's still not
equal, really. No, I mean, it is. It's
not even close.
I love my kids, and I had to fight for my kids. I had to fight. I had to go to court and fight for my kids for custody, and it shouldn't never be that way. Especially if you have somebody that wants the custody of their kids, that can prove and show that they can support them. You know, I mean, there are a lot of dads out there that don't want to be part of their kids' lives, and they can't support them, and they can't do that.
And that's a shame.
And that is a shame. Yeah, there is a shame. But if you can,
it's a despicable shame, actually.
Right. Yeah. If you can show that you can support and father your children and be part of their lives, then it shouldn't be taken away from you, or even considered to be taken away from you. But I had to do that. I had to go to a court and fight for it. And I mean, and it didn't equal 50-50. Even though the court says 50-50, it's still not 50-50.
No.
It's never going to be 50-50.
Just a little side. I think societally, if we would have half the issues that we do if we had a higher percentage of fathers in homes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and not to get off on a political topic too much. But
so true.
That's kind of, it's been in the media, especially from the conservative side, that, you know, the liberal side doesn't support the nuclear family any longer. That they're trying to, this. And I don't want to get off on political sore subjects, but the whole
you'd have Ann and I jumping off the bouncing off the ceiling.
We agree with you. So
right, but I mean the
we're in
nuclear
agreement.
family
I do have to throw the asterisk out there. Like neither one of us or any of us are open to hearing other opinions. But this is coming from our beliefs and a lot of time looking at the situation. Right. So just throw that out there.
No, I mean, I just, you hear it time and time again that, these, the people that are struggling, that they don't have that nuclear family, the fathers aren't involved, they don't have the father figure in their life, and they don't have that person to look up to, white or black, either way. Yeah. It could go either way.
Yeah, any ethnicity.
Yeah, and it's important piece that they need that father figure to show them right from wrong, how to be a man, how to.
I love this guy.
How to support your children.
Absolutely.
And
men are designed to lead. Period.
Right.
So
simple.
I was going to say
it's not complicated.
I was going to say this. So men tend to be the kid's hero, where the women are there usually day to day to create that hero. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of time men, when a kid doesn't have that example of what a hero looks like or what a good man looks like, coming from a woman's perspective, a young girl's perspective, or a young boy's perspective, a strong man or a strong father as a hero is probably the best thing that they can have in their life.
Makes sense to me. My kids
I cannot disagree with that in any part.
Right.
Yeah.
My kids will always go to their mom for the love and support and comfort, but they will still come to me and tell me things, even things that I don't really want to hear. They'll still tell me those things, and they still look to me for advice, and I try to lead by example as best I can. But yeah, I mean, it's important to have both in your life, a mother and a father.
Yeah. Not discrediting mothers in any way, because I mean, I was raised by an incredible mother. So like they're necessary just as much as a man is. But I think the fatherlessness rate is so much higher that it's creating an imbalance. And we can go on with this forever, but
yeah, we could. That is for sure.
It's tough to be a single mom. You're raising kids and supporting the family, and being a single mom, you're having to do both roles, because I know women that do that.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have such a masculine female society right now.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, I should say. I think we're done here, man.
Yeah.
I need a little pig to run across the screen so I can stick it. This pig is done.
I want to throw this out there. So for essentially not knowing anything about this show or not having any really prep,
he had no clue. Just so everybody
knocked
knows.
this that was like a grand, you hit a 6-run home run.
Yeah,
I am.
That was the bomb.
I'm professional sales rep.
I can tell you've done. I can tell you've done this all of one time. But.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you disclosed that you were in a relationship, because you might get St. Louis Man of the Year otherwise.
Hey,
high five.
I've
been trying for months, and even I haven't achieved that yet.
I'm a little disappointed that Becky came in and she dipped back out.
She did. I thought, she's going to go down and come back, and then I haven't seen her, right
in the middle of me talking about her. We dated before and then dated again, and
now she's going to have it all on tape.
Yeah,
she'll get to
hear me.
She's probably out in the car asleep or something.
Edit that stuff out. Yeah, she's outside. I text her. I'm like, "Where'd you go?"
She could have come in here.
The real McCoy.
That is my boy. Hey, come in here. Sit on your daddy's lap.
Hey man, I'm bigger and stronger than so
This is Mr. Horn. All right,
What am I doing?
we're all done here.
Okay.
But
Holy cow.
this is my boy.
So what do you want for Christmas?
I got an idea. How about a haircut? This is Mr. Frotastic right here. You know, the idea is the shaver touches the face, right?
Hey man, I didn't ask.
All right, we're done. Peace out, everybody. See you next week.